Yeah, when I say Kalalali, I Bashim Washai, Bashim Kodash, the honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the brothers in the island Bible preaching this word in sincerity and honesty. You know, truth. You know, get it set up, brother. Yeah. 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 With me, the brother Kabash is here today. You know, I'm the brother Shapar. You know, what we're gonna speak about right now is what's currently going down, man, and that's prophecy fulfilling, you know, in its full effect. You know, there are a lot of things going on right now on the planet. You know, we're in some wonderful times, man. You know, we're about to see the transition of the kingdom into the righteous kingdom that the Lord Yahushua is coming with, man. You know what I mean? We're about to see the fall of this empire, of everything going bad. You know, everything going bad here. You know, on this side. You know, when I speak about specifically is crisis. You know, a lot of crisis basically following one behind the other, man, and it's all prophetic. You know, and this is the engine that the Lord is basically using to bring about, you know, the end. You know, these different crises that are gonna lead into other prophecies, man. Because believe it or not, you know, these crises basically they are connected, man. You know, especially when it comes down to war. You know, with war, you have things that connect to war, like famine. You know, like upheavals among the people. You know, all these things work together, man. It's like an ecosystem. You know, like an ecosystem. You know, yeah. One thing leads to another, or one thing cause another thing to operate in its field function. You know, so we're gonna speak on some of them things because right now we have a war going on now in Ukraine. You know, you have war going on in Syria, although the mainstream media is not speaking about the situation over there in Syria, because Israel and Iran is at it in Syria. You know, a lot of Israeli strikes basically going on over there. You know, killing Iranian troops over there in Syria, and you know, Iranian killing even American over there, you know, so Syria too. You know, so that's a hot, you know, them start buzz the Iranian airspace. You know, we know what role Iran play in the prophecies. You know, so that's going on there. Then we go further east, you have the China situation, you know, the China and Taiwan situation. You know, and all these skirmishes and wars, them have effects, man. You have certain effects that come with wars, man. You know, you may hear the sanction and all them things that going on with America, with Russia. You know, and you may hear about the repercussion of Russia basically limiting the gas flow to Europe. You know, but they can share it in the group too. You know that I shared already.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You know, so you know, all of that tying together, you know, to bring about what's coming, man, and on the back of that we have food shortages coming in. You know what I mean? So everything is coming in all at once, and all these emergencies automatically gonna bring about, you know, the MOTB, man. The MOTB, you know, in order to keep things in order. That's what they're gonna do. Bring about the MOTB. You know, because in the times of war, you know, you have emergency measures, you know, that governments take. You know, and like how things get out of control right now, your freedom is at stake. You know, like how things going out of control right now, because we in an emergency situation on the planet now. You know what I mean? We're not talking about the pandemic, you know, emergency. We have a more serious emergency. You know what I mean? Global conflict, you know, and widespread food shortages, man. Those are the things that we will face with right now as we speak. You know, so the brother can get some precept and then we'll go down the meat of the matter, yeah?
Alright, so this is Matthew 24 verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when that shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
Right, so every age come to a specific end, you know. where you have certain events transpire. You know, it come with the time. It's a season, just like you have the seasons for the year. You know, winter. You know that certain countries, you know, in winter you have what? You have snow falling. So that is a sign or effect of that time.
Right.
You know, and even every cycle in time have some specific thing that happen that they can identify the time or the season. Since so the disciples basically asking for the sign of his coming and of the end of the age.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now you have these demons, you know, the cracker demon, you know, he's out there, Big E, by the way, out there telling the world that look, we have climate change going on. You know, and the back of every emergency, one of the biggest emergencies, according to him, is climate change. You know, he's going to use climate change with Pakistan flooding thing right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
The heat
So
wave
that'll be the
one
biggest
anyway.
argument, because this is one of the stepping stones in order for him to make his reset. Now, the reason why he's saying this climate change thing, he know that at the end of certain age, you know, you have certain things that happen.
Right.
You know, it's a cycle, man. Everything is a cycle, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you know that certain weather anomalies are going and you know that weather anomalies connected to the heavens, man.
Right. And
You know?
he may just be causing some of them.
You know? Yeah. You know, him amplify the situations because him know that certain anomalies are going to happen at the end of the age, man. Certain alignments are going to make in the sky, because you know that the planetary alignments affect things on the earth, affect the weather. You know what I mean?
The sun.
The sun affect earthquakes. A matter of fact, you have CME, coronal mass eruption, that happen from the sun, electromagnetic wave from the sun that causes earthquake on the earth. Now the reason why Esau can forecast an earthquake now is because he's watching the sun.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So he can tell us, yo, look, there's going to be an earthquake this place, you know, at certain time. You know what I mean? Since so he know that certain happenings in the sky, you call it sunspot on the sun. That's what basically this CME come from. Mm-hmm. You know, so you know that certain alignment with the moon and them thing, they know it have you know the moon have a lot to do with the water on the earth, man. You know what I mean? So
Right.
so all these things that they see happening in the heavens, you know, the effects happening on the earth. You have the grand solar minimum. You know, it affect crop. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So Esau gonna blame climate change for all of this. They know that look, it's a time. We'll come back around to that time when all these things happen, man.
Right.
Because you have historical evidence of all these things. So them things happened before in the past.
In the time of Egypt, when
Yeah.
we were just in Egypt, then they have 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine.
A matter of fact, give me Ecclesiastes, brother. You see me?
What that know?
Everything season at a time, brother.
Okay.
You see me? Yeah, but hey, and I see he's gonna write on the box of this, and I say all these things that we're speaking about is gonna affect the regular man on the ground.
Right.
The ignorant as niggers out there. You see me, them things you'll catch them by surprise, man. Because them don't even know, you know, that certain events come back around. And we in that time now. And them things that come with the war, different strife and them things, all them uproars and them things that come with that, man. You know? So he's familiar with them things, the same can use it.
Right.
You know? Go on, brother.
This is Ecclesiastes 3, chapter 1, chapter 3, verse 1. So like,
Go on.
to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Right, so there's a season, a time for every purpose under the heaven, man.
Right.
Go on.
A time to be born, a
Go on.
time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted.
Go on.
A time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up.
Go on.
A time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing,
Go on.
a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace.
Right, so we're coming round, right back around to the time of what? Peace. I know this, we continue to say round because the Lord judgment is likened unto a circle, man.
Right.
It's a cycle. A matter of fact, the same book of Ecclesiastes tell you about the cycle, man. And there's no new thing under the sun.
Right.
So this climate change madness that Esau talk about is something that already happened, you know, countless times, you know, when the age is coming to an end. You know what I mean? And a matter of fact, the Lord himself give you what's gonna happen when the age is coming to an end. Tell you about modern daughters was prophesied. You know, so we turn that Peter, I think, Acts, yeah. You know? Yeah. You know, the Lord give you the instruction, man. We make you know that, look, man, this is the end of the age, man. You know? You see them things here happening, man. This is the end of the age, man. And the Lord himself give you it in I think, in the book of Matthew. You know, Matthew 24. You know, and give you, you know.
Yeah. Can go up to that.
Yeah, go on.
Alright, this is Joel 2 and verse 28.
Go on.
It said, and it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh,
Go on.
and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy,
Go on.
and your old men shall dream dreams,
Go on.
and your young men shall see visions.
Go on.
And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit.
Go on.
And I will shew wonders in the heavens.
So the Lord said, "What do what? Show wonders in the heavens, man."
Go
You know, you have all different alignments that take place. Certain chariot sightings, some other things that happen to the sky that nobody can explain. Sky turning all red. You know, Russia, St. Petersburg, the sky turned all red. And my mother wake up the other man and say, "Oh, hold this outside red so." You know what I mean? First you see that.
Yeah, these things are wonders in the
You know what I mean?
heavens.
These are the wonders in the heavens, man.
Right.
You have different eclipses happen. You know? You know?
He said, and I will shew wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke.
Go on.
The sun shall be turned to darkness, eclipse,
Go on.
and the moon into blood,
Go on.
red blood moon.
Go on.
Right, before the great and terrible day of the Lord
So
comes.
these things are the signs of the season, man.
Right.
Yeah? These are the signs of the season. We're looking at them now. Now we have matching events that transpire upon the earth, you know what I mean, to coincide with those things, man.
Right.
Like how people start to react. Because believe it or not, even the moon itself have psychological effect on people, man.
Yeah, affect your mood.
Yeah?
And them things that are different vibrations.
So the vibration that you see, the world going under right now is based upon the season, man. Now is the time. The only time it could happen. And now.
Right. And
Yeah?
all these things are choreographed by the angels.
Gone. You can bring out even that the sea and the waves roaring. And,
Yeah, man, I
go on.
get to them.
Go
Right,
on.
this is 2 Ezra 9 and verse 1. He answered at me and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself,
Go on.
and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before,
Go on.
then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Go on.
Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquake,
When you see what? Earthquake. I will speak about it earlier on. The ESA forecasting earthquake based off of the sun activities, man.
right,
You know what I mean? Which is signs in the heaven.
gone,
Yeah?
right,
Go on.
and uproars of the people in the world.
What's going on now, man?
We're going to type
Yeah?
in the word protest.
What's going on now, man?
If we just type
Because
in the word
all these
protest.
things that they see that happen, you know, you have chain reaction, you know, you have certain shortages that take place, you know, you have certain economic situations that take place based off of certain events that transpire like wars and them thing there, the threat of war and them thing there, and guess what, people being frustrated and all that, you know what I mean, it's all tying together, man.
Right.
Yeah, not random, everything just happen, a chain reaction of things just happen, you know what I mean, based upon that. And we have greater chain reaction of things that are coming down the line, and we are going on that after we leave this. Yeah?
Yeah, so if you even Google the word protest and
Right.
just go to the news tab,
Gone.
there are so many different
Protests that take place, man.
A lot of them not even get covered.
Yeah.
You see me? So this is being fulfilled.
Hey, one of the protests, as we speak about, is in, you have the
Yeah,
article.
lads.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Have it here.
Yeah.
You can just click on any
Yeah,
one of them.
we have so many things to talk about today, man. Go on, brother.
Alright, so this is just one of the articles from The Guardian.
Go on.
Alright, it was posted a month ago. It said, farmers express fury at government drive to tackle nitrogen pollution through major reduction in the number of pigs, cattle and chickens in the Netherlands.
Alright, we can put all of this together now. So therefore, them say is climate change going on, so therefore them need to reduce certain type of emission. Now, nitrogen them I talk about. You know, the methane, them have the methane problem and them have the nitrogen problem now.
And the carbon dioxide.
And the carbon dioxide problem. And the reason for this, the reason why they're saying this now is because of this so-called climate change, which is basically relating to the signs in heavens. You know what I mean? So the signs in heavens relating to actions on the earth. And the action is the man them are going to stop man from produce the enough food to feed everybody. Which basically tie into what? Famine, man. See the protests and all them things that will take place in just one section of what go on is tying everything tying together as one. You know what I mean? Everything is a reaction to certain things, man. You know what I mean? So the Lord set him thing perfectly for operate on a specific type of way. You know? So this now, cause this place here you read, the brother reading about, is one of the leading producer. You know what I mean? Netherlands is one of the leading producer
Right.
of certain foods where you get, man. And the man cut the thing when we already have food shortages, man.
So
You
this is the article from, I can't pronounce that, the Hughes or the, or I pronounce. Yeah, from January 2020, the Netherlands are almost the world's largest exporter of agricultural products.
Almost the world's largest exporter of agriculture. Not the whole world dependent on imported goods, man. Everybody are import things from everybody else. You know what I mean? Since the WTO and all them madness there, everybody basically start, you know, the self-reliant thing with enough countries in the world that gone out the window.
Right,
You know,
so in 2019, the Dutch agricultural sector once again exported more than in the years before, a total of 94.5 billion euros. Said this makes the Dutch agricultural sector the second largest exporter in the world after the United States.
Right, so these men are basically what? Want to cut down drastically the amount of food being produced, man.
Yeah.
And already have this thing against cattle. You know what I mean? They already have this thing against cows, man. You know? So drastic reductions are going to take place, man, in every aspect of your social life, man. This is what these men plan under this climate change madness, man. You know what I mean? A tremendous restriction coming, you know, down the line concerning this climate change thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
This is from Forbes. Right. It was March this year.
And them things will cause more protests, brother. More protests on top of more protests.
You know, I'm reading that. I know I'm reading it unless me subscribe. But pretty much it said that Bill Gates wants rich countries to move to 100% synthetic beef, but here's the opportunity behind the trend.
Gone. So basically these men want to cut out real cattle because of climate change, them claim, and methane and all the madness, you know, and want to move to synthetic beef.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what them think. And they want people to eat what bugs and all them things. That you know? Yeah. Which you have certain like locusts that can
Yeah, you have a few, but them want you eat.
They want you eat all some nasty bug.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So now, so them have two new trends that are push. If you want to save the planet, the future of food is insects.
So there's a climate emergency,
Right.
you know, which basically
And this is from 2021.
and this basically gonna cut down your food supply drastically, man.
Right.
Everything will get cut drastically, man. The lavish lifestyle you people did I live? Now it's the time where it's gonna get cut out altogether, man. And we are going too fast, and you can't do your own research. We are going too fast. You have so many things to cover. You know what I mean? And you know we have time constraint. But there's a lot of things going on, man. You know what I mean? Don't sit on your ass and don't try to find out what's going on, man. You know? Real things going on that's going to affect you in the short term. You know? You know, because, you know, a lot of people think this is the long term. Them think it's short term. They want to make certain moves like right now.
Yep.
Yeah? See? So
continue a little bit. It's back to second is just 9. Continuing from verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and an end is manifest. Even so the times of the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works, and ending in effects and signs.
We are seeing those effects and those signs right now. That's what we're trying to show you. Right now, that these effects and these signs happening. You know, telling us what point in time we're at. You know what I mean? This is no joke, man. It's no joke, folk.
Alright, back to Matthew 24. Right, when the disciple them ask him, you know, the signs of the end of the world. Right, we just don't jump to verse 6. He said, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Which basically, as I speak about, you have Israel in Syria against Iran. You know, that soon escalate and get bigger because Israel start to buzz Iranian airspace now, so it will escalate more and more. You know, Iran hit back the other day, you know, Syria and a US base. You know what I mean? Russia be buzzing Israeli airspace with them jet with base in Syria. A lot of things going on there in the Middle East, man. A lot of things going on. You know, Iraq kick off the other day. You know, so things all turn upside down. You have Turkey on the borders of Syria. Have issues on the border of Syria with what do you call them, Kurds, or what they want name. You know what I mean? So shit is about shit popping off on the borders of Russia, other places now too. You know, you have another conflict kicking off on the borders of Russia.
Right.
Yeah? So you know, Russia be moving fighter jets now to Kaliningrad with the hypersonic missiles, man. So Poland and everybody shuffling up right now. You know, NATO shuffling up right now. So things really getting bad.
The continent are prepared for a war, yo.
You know what I mean? China situation getting tenser and tenser. And we're going to speak about that and all them things are going to affect you because Russia war situation right now bringing about shortages, man. Shortages, man. Energy shortages, man.
Right.
That's what's going on now. You're paying more for gas, more than norm.
Right. And if you're in Europe, it's much worse, yo.
Can't afford gas now. You know what I mean? Everybody feeling. And then they have natural gas. You know what I mean? LNG. You know, situation in Europe with them countries going into the winter, man. You know, Russia basically locking off Nord Stream 1, saying it's temporary, but we know the game. You know what I mean?
Hey, if you put it in context, this is UK energy go from like 40 and 50 pound per megawatt hour up to nearly 1,000.
God.
That's from 50 pounds to 1,000 pounds.
It's so
That's
much
a big
front.
jump, yo.
It's so much front we have crisis, man. We have crisis from every angle.
It's a big jump.
You know what I mean? Crisis from every angle, man.
Right. Yep.
And we reach the boiling point. It's the boiling point, man.
We're getting
Go on,
there.
brother. We're getting there.
Right. He said, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars,
Go
saying
on.
that ye be not troubled.
Go on.
For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Because guess what? Evils are going to grow.
Right.
Evils are going to grow. And we're going to show them evils that we right now will grow. I
said-
talk catch people like a thief, man.
Go on.
As the scripture said.
He said, for nation shall rise against nation,
Go on.
and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and
What?
pestilences.
Okay, so in kingdom and when kingdom rise up against kingdom, what's gonna happen? You're gonna have men who
Hoard food.
hoard food.
Yep.
You know, certain things not gonna ship anymore.
Right.
You know, you got blockades, you got have wars, because one of the main things that when you know have major war like such as World War III, you know what I mean? You know, certain shipping straits are gonna shut down because if China get them way over there, you know, in the South China Sea America can't enough to do what they're doing, you know that strait is gonna be shut down. You know much percentage of the world import, export come through that strait. You know? Eh?
Hey, the thing is, people hear these things and them don't really think about
You
it.
don't know it affect you. That's like how niggas don't know how them appear more for gas now because of one war in Europe.
Yeah, because just yesterday, I go downtown and buy some onion. You know the market lady tell me these onions are from Canada.
Come
You buy garlic, the garlics are from Japan. You see me? So all over the world where I get food from, and we don't even realize how dependent we are on these trades, yo. You see me? So, you know, people ignorant of them thing here, yo. Them don't know how the thing them reach them supermarket or even the market vendor them, because some, like we said, some of them not actually have local produce as sell, yo.
Come
Right? So it said, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in
So
diverse places.
so all these skirmishes and conflict automatically are gonna trigger famine, and we know that's gonna happen because nobody now plant for them country, but depends on everybody else outside. You know,
That's why you have
even people that plant depend on other people for other things. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But they depend on other people for energy or whatsoever. So it's a network. The world thing there. And what you call it?
them interdependent.
The mental dependent, man.
Yeah, I'm interdependent because look at even Netherlands and the US, they're two are the largest exporter of agricultural produce, but them depend upon countries like Russia,
God.
you see me, and Ukraine to produce the fertilizer
God.
to grow all of them crops there.
God.
You see me, so they might produce one thing, but they depend upon somebody to produce another thing.
God.
You know, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 21. It said, but victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case.
We passed that.
Yep.
Now, you know which part we're there now? We're at a point now where things are going to escalate beyond measure. So, when you could have buy one cell phone and you have multiple cell phone and all different type of devices, you know what I mean? You have food, any amount of food, any amount of fuel put in your car, you know, them things they now come to an end. The crisis them now are going to bring scarcity, and scarcity are going to bring inflation, man.
Right.
things are going to go up sky high. We have an example. Last year, going to the end of 2020, going into last year, you know, we have a chip shortage that happened, man. And trust me, you know, I was looking at video card to buy to do some editing. You know what I mean? And guess what? The video card almost 3 times the price, man. 3-4 times the price, cause you have a card that sells for like $3,000. You know, and that is more than 300%. You know, and those chip shortages that you have chip shortages that happen in the 2021. You know what I mean? And guess what? There's a major chip shortage coming. Yeah, I have a little ease the other day, but a bigger chip shortage is coming, man. Which basically gonna knock the world economy upside its head. You know, along with other things, we are gonna knock the world economy upside its head, like the wars that are gonna take place now. You know what I mean? And the food situation will take place up on the planet. We have shortages everywhere, man. Yeah? Crisis, man.
Okay.
Crisis. Alarming levels, man.
Yeah, try to find an article I speak about. In Britain right now, in addition to skipping meals and shrinking portions, as the article said, you have communities now where they do community cooking. So instead of every yard cook for themselves, like them agree, say, okay, we have one yard where we cook and everybody put together, and the one yard they cook and we share the food amongst everybody, and then next time the other, cause nobody can afford to cook for themselves.
And it'll get to a point where you get a fever pitch.
Yeah.
Serious, man.
Yeah.
You know, and when it gets fever pitch serious, that's when the government are coming in and they say, look, we need to do some rationing.
Yep, that's it right there.
And then we need to do some add more security to the thing when it come on to identity.
So we need some digital identity.
We're gonna need digital identity to more effectively, you know, monitor,
and
you know,
identify you.
The limited resources that we have, that we can identify who get what and who not get what. That's what them argument now come with, man.
Yeah. Just the other day when we have the whole pandemic situation and money they give out of Jamaica, the Prime Minister said if we had the NIDS system in place, more people would get them government payout quicker. But because we don't have that, there's confusion in the system already, and basically by push show and say, yo, we need a digital identity system.
And you know that all them things is currently now being put in place, you know, the digital money being put in place. So these men have their solution for the disasters that were about to hit the planet. You know, what's a disaster? We're not talking about natural disaster like we're going to Pakistan.
Right.
We're talking about, like, you know, the breaking of the food supply chain, the supply chain, you know, trade relations, you know, when it come on to peace and stability, them things that we are talking about, and them things that we're basically manifesting right now, all the effects that come with that, you know, gonna lead to them basically bringing about certain solutions, man.
Brother, the next in line to the throne of UK, I think Prince Henry him said the situation that exists in our world now present a unique and rare opportunity to bring about the agenda where them have planned for much in years. And they must say we have to act quickly, or else this opportunity will pass us by.
You know? and them stirring it up, man.
Yeah,
stirring it up. Go on, brother.
He said, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great calamity.
These are what growing right now.
Right.
These are what growing right now. The shortages, food shortages, it's gonna end up with famine, man. The sword, which is wars, we see them thing they're brewing all over. Conflict all over. You know? The earth, you know, two factions now, the faction for China and for Russia, and the faction for America.
Yeah. East versus West.
East versus West now.
Yep.
You know? So people picking them side already. You know what I mean? And we're about to go out a full-fledged world war, man.
Right. And at the end of the day, all of them are a part of the same agenda, because the Russian President Putin is a part of the WEF. You see me? So them thing are kind of
it's the Lord basically stirring up the king's mind for basically even ultimately bring about the destruction of the landmass of America, man. And that is a part of the plan also.
Right.
It's a part of the Lord's plan. You know, but anyway,
we can go to the next article. Macron, the thing there.
Yeah, evil's growing up. We can read them thing here, man.
Alright, so this is from The Guardian. It was posted the 24th of August, so just the other day. Macron warns of end of abundance as France faces difficult winter.
What's it? Macron warns of end of abundance. You hear that? End of abundance. When I say end of abundance, meaning, you know, when it come on to energy, when it come on to food,
Right.
when it come on to certain freedom to go about freely. You know, the certain place in Europe basically negate the climate change issue. You know what I mean? They're gonna restrict travel. If you gotta travel without it's not being essential, they're gonna restrict travel, man. And I say, and they want to cut out so many flights going across the world, like people are gonna do tourism. So our tourism and everything all get cut out, man.
They might actually limit how much I can travel.
Yep. So if you're traveling not essential, they might cut out them things, man.
You have a credit card now.
Yeah.
We actually track your
Your carbon footprint.
and
Your MasterCard of them card are basically
them deny you when you reach certain level limit.
Yeah.
And then them free up after a while.
Hey, you don't know what the hell is coming, man. It's sneaking up on you, niggas, man. They catch you like a thief. They're gonna catch you like a thief, man.
Goodly decides, oh, I want to eat one burger today and you can't decline because you have enough fucking beef already.
Yeah, you know.
If there is even beef for you to buy. That's the next thing.
Synthetic, yeah.
Synthetic
You have
beef.
enough synthetic beef already.
There's Emmanuel Macron has warned that the French that they are facing sacrifices and what he called the end of abundance
End of abundance, man.
at his government's first cabinet meeting after.
So we're gonna name the lesson evils or end of abundance, you know?
Yeah. Said the president, speaking before ministers at whatever that name is, said the country was at a tipping point and faced a difficult winter and a new era of instability caused by climate change and
Russia invasion of Ukraine.
The two biggest boogeyman them right
See?
now.
The boogeyman them that. So all what will happen now is China's ward into the China-Taiwan situation because when this kick off, whatsoever kick off between China, because you think get reaching a level right now, America basically keep pressing them just like how them press Russia and Ukraine, them keep pressing the China and Taiwan situation. Let me show you what's going on here, man. As a matter of fact, we're gonna show how vital China is to the world's economy. Taiwan is to the world's economy right now, man.
Right.
And the stability of what's going on even here in the West. You know what I mean? And why America desperately doing what they are doing, man.
Right.
You know?
So this is from Al Jazeera.
Just read you can read it, play
Play the video first?
The video.
Alright, no problem.
It's not an overstatement to say that semiconductors power the modern world. They're not only a key component of nearly every electronic device we buy and use, they also power the factories that make the electronic devices we buy and use. They power our laptops, our cell phones, our cars, our washing machines, our refrigerators, yeah, even our refrigerators. And this is just the stuff in our home. We're not even getting into all the ways semiconductors are important to the military and to the power grid.
If software is eating the world, then the chips are the teeth.
And now there aren't enough of them getting made, a massive global shortage. And it's getting so bad that General Motors, one of the world's largest automakers, said it could lose up to $2 billion because the semiconductor chip shortage forced it to temporarily shut down some auto manufacturing plants.
Okay, so in 2021, you see, I think 2021 this was done. You know, as we say, you have certain electronic devices that went up in skyrocketed, man. You know, over 300% increase at the price, man. You know what I mean? For certain things. Now, we're in a situation right now, you know what I mean, where either gonna make us this shortage that was happening in the pandemic, you know, pale in comparison. You know? So if that the cause so much problem back then, now 2021, 2021, you know, what say when war is brought to the shores of the Eastmen, the Far Eastmen,
Right.
you know, and that's what basically brewing right now. Yeah?
Alright. Ready for going on this?
Yeah, go on.
Alright, so this is from Al Jazeera. When was this? August 4th this year. So why China is not sanctioning Taiwan's key chip industry. Alright, so China has turned to the familiar playbook of trade restrictions following U.S. House Representative Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan. Right? It said, just jump to the point.
Go on.
Right? It says, how important are semiconductors to Taiwan? Taiwan dominates the global industry for semiconductors. Critical components used in everything from smartphones and medical devices to cars and fighter jets. The self-ruled island accounts for 64% of semiconductor manufacturing revenue, according to TrendForce, with industry leader Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company alone taking up more than half the total pie.
Okay.
Right? And then down here it says for the most advanced semiconductors, Taiwan accounts for 92%.
Con.
92% of production.
Con.
Right, for the most advanced one them.
Right, and you can find anything with show. Just type in anything that's going on with China and Taiwan right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can just type in anything right now. And you see what's going on, man.
Yep.
We have crisis, man. Serious crisis. So imagine what would happen. You have to talk about energy crisis. Now you have a chip crisis, the food crisis, all them crises up, man. All them crises up, man. Any article you can read now, you can hear what's the deal. Over there in the east, man, the far east, man.
Right. Yeah, so they say you can just Google it.
Yeah, just Google it.
China, Taiwan.
You know?
Yeah, CEO.
On the verge of war. You can just type in on the verge of war, man.
See that? They all suggest it. It's also it's suggested.
Con.
China revealing its plan for Taiwan invasion.
Con.
Island's foreign minister says.
Con. So you worrying about Ukraine, Russia? You worrying about Ukraine, Russia, man? Look, man, you see, this a war piles to the Middle East. Trust me, that's this straw gonna break the whole camel back, because we in a world you call it the industrialized world. You know what I mean?
Right.
And which basically elite basically want to destroy this industrialized setup right now and bring about the second, fourth industrial revolution. So the fossil fuel based industrialized world is poised to be destroyed. The elite them don't want it anymore. They want a different. Right. They want a reset according to them. Yeah. So the Middle East is gonna be that majority of the world's oil comes up out of the Middle East, man. You know what I mean? Right in another region that the land barren and desolate, as the scripture speak. I can't give me that precept there. You know what I mean? There is where things basically heating up right now. Since so every farmer production, that countries produce to basically keep the machine of this earth running, you know what I mean, is about to be cut off. The abundance is about to be dwindled according to Macron. You know, the days of abundance done.
And the thing that Macron say, all of the European.
Yeah, we enter in our evil time, man. Right. Our evil time we enter into right now. Very serious shit is coming down the pipe, man. Yeah? Remember?
Alright, this is Joel 2 and verse 20. But I will remove far from you the northern army and will drive him into a land barren and desolate.
Yes, because the Middle East is heating up, man. Right. It's heating up. Things that get away now in Syria, they never can cover it no longer, man. You see me? You know, because them use the Russia situation for distract for what's going on there, man. You know? And guess what? You have all them straits that Iran basically threatening, to destroy ships in that strait and lock down that strait that's responsible for oil coming through. The Strait of Hormuz, you know what I mean? You have other straits like the straits in Egypt, you know what I mean? Suez Canal. You remember when a ship blocked off the Suez Canal and what happened with the container shortage, man? And all them things there, man? You remember them things there? Right. Those are examples showing when them straits lock off what's going to happen on this side of the world, man. Can you feel like when them things start kick off, the way it's supposed to kick off, them things are not immediately going to come to your doorstep, man.
Yeah, we're very, very dependent. The world is very interdependent.
Immediately, man. Right. And you have Russia basically sending troops down there into, I think it's what, in Northeast Africa. You know what I mean? Training. See Russia bring 2 helicopters go give thing the other day. Forgot the African country name. So it basically, you know what they're doing? That is the prophecy of Ezekiel 38 fulfilling, man. And it's Russia said basically they're gonna do more for them allies, man. You remember the article that come out about 2 weeks ago? You know? So shit is really stirring up, man.
That's it.
Yeah?
So, but I will remove far from you the northern army and will drive them into a land barren and desolate.
The Middle East, man.
Right, with his face toward the east sea, and his in the part toward the utmost sea. And his thing shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he has done great things.
Yeah, they want to secure the Strait of Hormuz. Very vital strait. And the strait over there, Taiwan and China, is a very vital strait. The Suez Canal is a very vital strait. You know what I mean? And in the times of wars, them not active anymore, man. Active anymore, man. You know what I mean? So, serious times coming, man. Yeah? We're in serious times now. You know? Go on, brother.
Joel 3 and 9 proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war.
And that's what being prepared right now, war.
Right.
China preparing for war. You see, we read the article earlier on about China and Taiwan. They're preparing for war, man. America is preparing for war. You know what I mean? Europe is preparing for war, man.
Yeah, the whole of NATO.
Russia preparing for a larger war, sending warplanes to Kaliningrad with some of the most advanced cruise missile, you know, that launched from an aircraft, was just sent to Kaliningrad. Hypersonic missiles, man. Yeah?
It's a prepare war.
Okay.
Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up.
Gone.
Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
You have the mercenaries running to Ukraine aid, man, because them love war so much. You come like a drugs. Them just run go over there just you know, on battle because of them thing. Look, man, you not have to go nowhere. It all come right here, yard. You not have to go nowhere.
Right? And them are going to cry bitterly, as the scripture says.
Gone. Gone.
Assemble yourselves and come all the heathen and gather yourselves round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord.
We have them chariots been circling the planet, man.
Right.
You know, every day you have different sightings, man. Videos coming up with sightings, brothers seeing sightings, man. You know, it's a joy, you know, seeing them chariots, man. And that's when they're gonna, scripture says, I'm gonna send forth his angel to gather his elect from what? The four wings of the
earth,
Yep. Or the missiles gonna be shooting off in that day, man. When they're so close. When they're so close, man.
Right.
Gone.
Let the weak, let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Gone.
For there will I sit to judge the heathen round about.
Gone.
Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe.
Yep.
Come,
Yep.
get you down, the press is full.
Yeah, we're in a reaping season.
Gone.
We're in the reaping season.
The fats
Yeah.
overflow, for their wickedness is great.
Gone.
Multitudes.
You see, brother. Yo, man, look, you can't even speak out against the evil now. You get censored and get cut off, man. You see, take off,
And
take
you
off.
take all social media. And take
Social media thing now, you're not free to talk anymore, man.
Right.
Because the man want to do them evil things, them. And the woman want to do them evil things, them. And they don't want nobody to say nothing about it.
Nope.
See, so you can't. Yeah, man, scripture's perfect, man.
Multitudes in the valley of decision, for
God.
the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision.
God.
Yep.
We're in the valley of decision, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sun and the moon shall be darkened.
Signs in the heavens again, we talked about earlier.
The stars that draw their shining.
God.
The Lord also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem.
Yeah, speaking about the prophets, man.
Yep.
The Lord is speaking, man. Through the prophets and the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and brothers in the highways and byways, man. The Lord is speaking, man. Yeah?
And him going to literally speak when him come here.
Yeah, and he's going to literally speak when him come.
Yeah.
Loud voice, man.
Yeah, you now go and hear that voice there. Right? And the heavens and the earth shall shake, but the Lord will be the hope of his people
God.
and the strength of the children of Israel.
Or it's going to shake. Them bombs, man. You know, Esau's going to rock the world. It's going to cause fire to come down from heaven, you know, in the sight of men. Thermonuclear fire, man.
Can
Going to rock the world. And the Lord basically is going to step in, man. Saving his people, you know, defending them and delivering them as the scripture said. Yeah? With them chariots, man, they're going to swoop in. You know? Taking up the elect, man. And let them regular crackers die. The elite preserving themselves for slavery. Because that's what them bunkers is all about. Preserve them for slavery, man. You have bunkers all over the planet. You know, we talk about multiple lessons in that one lesson. Yeah, but yeah, we have so many things going on, man. Just connecting everything.
Yeah.
You know, that's what connecting the dots, man.
Yeah, you hard to speak about one thing.
You know what I mean? That's what we're doing.
Another.
Yeah?
Right.
Remember that?
2 Ezra 15 verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein,
Gone.
for the sword and their destruction draw it nigh.
Right.
And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands.
We see them thing here happening now, man.
Yeah.
We see them thing happening now. You know?
So, for there shall be sedition among men.
Right, sedition coming, man. You see everything them blame on the Prime Minister here in Jamaica. Everything. And he is to be blamed. You know, the first Prime Minister person that I ever witnessed that gets so much disrespect from people. You know,
Not even the dunce one portion.
one time ago, you don't care what side, whether GLP or PMP, you know, you don't never hear the next side style or disrespect a Prime Minister on the opposite side, like how them do. The Prime Minister now, you have even people on his side disrespecting them, call him all type of name. Him full of byword like why, you know. You never see a Prime Minister have so much byword yet, you know. You know?
Bro,
God.
Big nose.
Bro mad. Big nose. You know, you serve nosiness. You know? Brown dog. Yo. Yeah, people going on social media disrespecting him. You know? Tell him which party if he go suck, foreign party enough he go suck. You know, them thing was unheard of, man. Corporate, no care what side of the faction you was on, you never hear people straight out come out and disrespecting somebody with them people with them normally reverence. No matter what side them normally reverence them, man. You know, cause Jake be like love suck up to people who can give them things. You know? Though it clothing and thing, the be our ruler. The scripture said that Jake be have the spirit of it. You know, and politicians be giving them money. You know, so them always reverence them and not try this them or style them.
But the big nose I show him colour more and more people realize their money is not.
Them expressing hate for this man. A whole lot of hate out there for this man, right now if they do a real poll, you know, concerning his likability. Right now,
support.
him fail.
Yeah. Especially what they do with the public sector compensation reform is pretty much cutting public sector workers right across the board and pretending as if it's a pay increase.
Right now, the people them upset because of 1,000 murder gone already, you know. 1,000 murder gone already, and the people them say, this man come say, oh, he might go fix crime and whatsoever, and I'm not doing shit. So you guess what, the people them frustrated at this thing, man.
Yep.
Them frustrated at everything what this man do.
And him have the audacity to come out and say a couple months ago that the SOE them at work, the state of emergency them at work, or the ZOZA them at work.
Robbery, man.
You see me?
Robbery because them not to take the money. Don't do nothing real with the money. You know, I'm gone with it and just have this program up, like say the program is just a guide for them swindle some money. Yeah. That's all it was about. And the people find out that the people learn, you know, more and more, you know, and they must have one more reason to put them hands on you niggers, man. They must have multiple reasons coming up now to grab you up. And you see, argument like that, from in the pandemic, people have them argument from a long time to grab up you people. When them sign the thing there with the WTO, you know, you have people coming out and say, oh, them gonna get the hands on you and your family.
WHO.
WHO. Say you're gonna get the hands on you and your family. So the people already have you in them sites to grab you up when things go bad. And things gonna get bad because right now them basically there's inflation going on in the island right now, you know, and people really feeling it. And you're gonna see when them niggas in Jamaica start protesting, the protest with sign, you know. Oh, them protest with sign. See? So you don't know what's coming, man. Rioting now go on. That is what's coming, man. Yeah? And people gonna be shut down out there and them are gonna take it the next step further. You know? So it's gonna be a war against the state, man.
Alright. So for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power.
If a man say they want to thump off Andrew's nose, they're not gonna regard him, man.
A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses destroyed, and the men shall be afraid. And man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread.
Right.
And for
these are the evils that the Lord speak about that are going to increase upon the earth. You see me? And all of them tying to specific events and time. You see me? Them work in unison,
right.
You know.
So verse 57, thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall to the sword. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. They that be in the mountains shall die of hunger, and eat their own flesh, and drink their own blood, for very hunger of bread and thirst of water.
Yeah?
The scripture's plain.
It's no joke. And we can see all the things that leading down to that, man. If I can't see that, well, real Charles better than you, you know. If I can't see that, you know. So, you know, we don't have to keep it too long. We're going 49 minutes already.
50 minutes.
50 minutes. You know, so with that we say Kalal, Bashem Rashai, Bashem Rakakodash, we honor to the apostles and elders of Gravestone once more. You know, shalom to all the brothers and all they keep pushing this truth, man. We're almost out of here.
Shalom.
Shalom.